Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, and we are going to be continuing the tour of the new vengeance mechanic as we have so far with, Yom, Raphael, and Belzard. We don't have the two other units yet, but because the INFERNO battle is still here, and it is also a green-focused stage, and he has a literal shit ton of attack, we're going to try our best to do as many stacks as possible and see how much vengeance damage we can do against him on turn 5 and beyond, considering that we live to turn 5. Because we are going to go into Inferno 3, where he has 23.8 thousand attack, which is quite high. And each vengeance stack is going to do half of that. And if we can get, 25, 30, 40 stacks on, I don't know if that's actually possible. We're going to find out. But we can do some massive damage on turn 5. And, we can make this into a quote-unquote burst damage team. Because turn 5 I would still consider burst. Anything beyond that I would not. But that's my own personal definition. I don't know how you guys want to define it. But we have to live. So we're bringing Belzard, we're bringing Valentine for her orb change and her heal, we're bringing Sufia for our orange converting because we don't have one. I assume heavily that one of the two units that are coming with this meta will probably be another orange converter, because apart from free-to-play Aaron and free-to-play Sufia, the only other primary orange orb changers to green that we have is Soe and Ranga, and they both cost 30 points each. There's probably another unit that I'm missing, but we need better options than OG units or free-to-play units, especially one that's, technically type disadvantage here. Now, the stage isn't going to be around for very long, but hey, it is what it is. We've got my level 100 Yom, his skills are up to level 7 at least. Raphael is here, and then we've also got Trya. So literally everyone but Raphael on this team is an orb changer, because I want green orbs. That's all I care about. Green orbs, or at least some green orbs, to give me enough skill points to continue to reset, to use the stacks of vengeance, and with Belzard coming in, hopefully resetting our skill costs every so often. I haven't attempted Inferno 3 yet, so this will be a trial by fire, and I think I'm just going to keep recording until we actually clear it. So I'm not going to make any cuts. We'll just go hyperspeed through this. I still have the setup where I have Raphael's skills up because I recorded his showcase earlier, and I'm just too lazy to take it down, and I don't know what to put there. So hopefully by now his showcase will have gone up, and you guys will have some other suggestions for me as to how to format this when I'm playing on my phone versus the PC, which would be full screen. But I figured, hey, whatever. At least we know what we're using here, right? So turn 1, it is built for a special convert, so I don't really want to use Val because she costs a lot. So we're actually going to swap in Trya, use her convert because it's cheaper, and that'll give us more points, later on. And then we'll bring in Raphael for Trya. And these are the 3 units that I kind of want to live with up front, because we have all the defensive support from Yom and Raphael, combined with 2 orb changers, and one of them is a healer, and then we have our 2 vengeance stackers as well. So, ideally this should work. With 91 points, and we have 1 protection gauge, so we can start using some nice stacks of stuff next turn. Now, this first turn is going to hurt, though. Yeah. Oof. Okay, so the first turn we don't have any defense, and he did literally half her health. So she is not going to live up here anymore. So, that's a good hand, though. That is a good hand. Let's do this. Let's bring Trya in, right? Okay, so if we were to do that, we would still have enough points for the stacks? We could do that. Let's do that. So we'll get some... Actually, no, let's do the orb change first. And then we'll bring... we'll bring Sufia in, because that way we have the oranges and the blues covered. We'll do this, and now we're going to use the other stuff, because now we're going to have the guard and physical attack resistance, which is important here. Well, at least the guard is. He's not physical, so it doesn't really do anything for us right there. Belzard, gives us the Vengeance counter attack. So we've got 6 stacks, plus whatever he attacks here will get countered onto him. Maximum points, a full hand, plus another Velzard is looking good. Alright, there's a counter, so that's 1 stack that will be applied to him. And is this an AoE, or is this... No, just 1 attack. So, yeah, we're not going to stack nearly as fast as we would in the actual beatdown. What is this? Yeah, okay, sure. That... Why not? Okay, well, I mean, we can work with that. So, let's do this, and then we'll take you out for Trya, I guess. And then we will use her just steal and make that a full hand of greens. And then we'll use the guard and the defense and the resistance and the seal of his attack buff, which I'm pretty sure he's going to buff his attack again. And yeah, then we'll do this and we'll reset everything. Even the units in the back, which I really, really like that about this Velzard, resetting any skill anywhere. And now we have almost another protector, max points, and we did have to leave her in, which makes next turn maybe a little bit interesting. No, it's fine, actually. Alright, so there's an attack, and that's it. So we're up to 15 stacks. So, let's get... you know what, actually, let's just run it like this. And then we can convert here. Yeah, we can use the Try Convert. The seal is still active, so let's go ahead and just put another stack of Vengeance on him. This is going to be an AoE, and that's why I didn't want to trade anybody else out, because we have all the defense still. So let's just go ahead and send it. This is going to lower the physical attack, but it doesn't matter against JINFRIT because he's not physical. Yeah, we're not doing any damage, but I need the Vengeance to kick in. So we have one more turn after this, and then it'll kick. Alright, so this damage is inconsequential. He can't raise his attack. We're guarding. We have extra elemental resistance. We should take this pretty well. Yeah, I'm not upset at that number right there. Okay, so that is up to 22 stacks, 100 points, and we can reset everything, even though it is all reset anyways. What can we do here? He still has an attack buff. We have 100 points, so we could... We're gonna reset. So I wonder if we do this, and then we do Yomes, and then we do their 2 stacks again, because now it's gonna kick in. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna maybe sacrifice a few hits here for the greater good, and we'll get Sufia out. We'll use Yome's Orb Change, his 3 stacks of Vengeance, and then we'll reset, and then we'll use Rimaru's, Raphael's 3 stacks, and that'll put us up to 25 minimum, and then he'll attack us maybe once, maybe an AoE, I don't really remember. And yeah, we'll see how much this does in terms of Vengeance damage. Because he has about 700,000 HP, which is quite a bit. But he also has a lot of attack, and he has quite a few stacks of Vengeance now. Alright, 1 attack. And 448,000 damage right there. Yeah, I'd call that fairly good. I would call that fairly good. Okay, so... now the problem remains of what do we do here? We just have to live this turn, and then he's gonna die, because he can't live another 400,000 Vengeance. We just have to live. So I think the thing that gives us the best option is to do this and heal a little bit, put another stack of Vengeance on for funsies, seal his everything. This gives us guard, which isn't going to protect us against the alt, but this extra resistance will. Yes. All right. So, okay, so what does Raphael have now? All the resistance, attack, which is fine. It's just that burn. That burn could hurt a little bit later down the line. All right, do we have... What else can we use here? What is... That's guard rate. Let's use the Vengeance counterattack one more time. I think we're going to do it first try. Do I have enough? I mean, I do. There's nothing else I really can do, so we're just going to put it on, and we'll give ourselves guard for maybe his one follow-up attack, and maybe that'll prevent us from taking so much damage. Yeah, if no one dives this round, then we've done it. 7 turns. Up to 35 stacks. This will be 38 stacks because it's an AoE coming. This 7,000 damage. All right, Valentine might be dead. Yeah, she's dead. Unfortunate. But I didn't think we were going to come out of here perfect. 37 stacks and 440,000 vengeance damage, and there we go. I mean, yeah. 400,000 damage in 7... Well, actually 800,000 damage. Almost 900,000 damage. Passively. Like, our units were not doing jack crap to his HP bar as far as normal orbs or ults are concerned, but as long as you can live, you can murderize almost anything. And a defense-oriented team, the only thing that's going to hold you back is if the stage nerfs greens. So, yeah, I don't, this team is pretty good, and it's not even it's halfway done. We still have 2 more units, and we know Veldora is one of them. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. Now, I don't know if this event will still be around by the time the rest of the 2 units are out, because how long is this stage lasting until? Until the 12th. And that is going to be 2 weeks from now. So, I mean, if they hold to the schedule of release, I mean, we got these guys yesterday, right? Being Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. So, we'll have enough time if they drop a unit on Tuesday the 5th. We'll get that unit. But then Tuesday the 12th, this stage will leave right before the 3rd unit drops. So we'll at least get it tested out with 1 more meta unit, and we'll try and get even more stacks on. Hopefully they're an orange orb changer, like I said, because we don't have too many good options right now. And that'll just kind of make the team a little more cohesive. But, I mean, color me impressed. Like, these past 2 metas, they sound gimmicky on paper. But when you actually get to run with them, they're actually quite entertaining. Would I consider this team better than the Trainee and Milim team? Probably not, because that team can literally kill anything in the game in like 4 turns, and you don't need to wait. It's just super hardcore damage with the Guy and Violet and Physical Rimuru. 5 turns, you're doing like 1.5 million on an AoE, which is kind of hard to compete with anywhere else. But this is still a pretty entertaining team. So we'll see how it builds out in the future. But let me know what you guys think of this whole Vengeance meta. Do you enjoy it? Have you had a chance to use it? Like, even if you don't have the new units, you at least have the Omen, you can test it out a little bit. So let me know what your thoughts are. But that's it from me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later. Alright, so before we go, but I know I did the outro already, but I went back and looked, because I thought I saw different numbers, and it turns out I did. So this is turn 5. We have 29 stacks of Vengeance, and we did 448,862. If we fast forward to the next turn when we kill, we have 37 stacks, but we only did 440. So we had 8 less stacks of Vengeance but we did 8,000 less damage. And now I was like, that doesn't make any sense. We should have done a whole butt ton more. However, if you pay close attention, on this turn, he does not have a temporary attack buff. And I went back and looked to the footage, and he didn't even attempt to buff it, and even if it did, it would have been sealed. So he had inherently a lower attack stat than he did here, because he still had the attack buff going. And so even though we had 8 less stacks of Vengeance, we ended up doing more because it was doing 29 stacks of Vengeance worth of damage based on a higher attack stat at this time. Which I didn't think would work, because all the other, like during the Earth 2.0 meta, when we did the defense swapping skills, it only took your base stat into account. So even if you buffed your defense and used a Space Reamer's like 25% defense skill, it's like if you had 10,000 defense, then it was going to take 10,000 defense and turn it into 10,000 attack. If you had 10,000 defense and then you added another 2,000 onto it, it would still be the 10,000 defense that would be turned into your attack. It wouldn't take that temporary defensive buff. It would only take your basic stat, your starting stat. So for this to work and take temporary buffs into effect, that's also very interesting. I mean, the same thing could be said about some other skills that do percentage-based damage based on something. I don't know about Frostbite because it does a certain percentage of HP. The poison damage, though, it didn't stack alongside higher attack buffs. It just did a flat number based on the enemy's attack stat, and there was no way you could modify it unless you added more stacks of poison. So, but this, you add more stacks, and if they happen to have an attack buff at the time, then your Vengeance is going to do just more damage than if you didn't have an attack buff on the enemy. It's interesting to me, because it hadn't worked like that for the past year, and now it does, and now this enables us to do, I mean, higher amounts of damage, technically, if you play it right, and you know the enemy is going to have an attack buff. I mean, you could try and put as many stacks of Vengeance on as you can, and then when you don't have an attack buff, then you can, I don't know, you seal it, or you prevent yourself from being crit on, I don't know. But I think it's interesting. So we have turn 5, 29 stacks with the attack buff, 448. We have turn 6, 37 stacks, no attack buff, for less damage. So I just wanted to point that out. I didn't realize that at first. Now we know. Now it's on video. But very interesting stuff right here. So that's the end of the video, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.